This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, the U.S. Supreme Court is letting the Trump administration enforce portions of its 90-day ban on travelers. The court also announcing today it will hear a landmark case on religious liberty and same-sex marriage. ABC's Lana Zach is in Washington with the latest.
Is the president acting within his authority, or is he violating the Constitution's religious protections with his proposed travel ban? That's a fundamental question that the Supreme Court has been asked to resolve, and today they announced they will hear the case in the fall. This comes alongside a partial victory for the president, with the court also announcing that parts of the travel ban can take place immediately. There is one exception. The courts will allow those with bona fide connections from the banned countries to continue to travel to the United States. The travel ban sparked protests since it was hastily rolled out as one of the first major actions of the Trump administration in February.
This is racist from the president.
Mr. Trump's campaign rhetoric and tweets used to buttress the complaints by opponents that the travel ban amounts to a religious ban against Muslims.
Calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States.
But the travel ban isn't the only important case that the court is weighing in on. They issued a decision on a case regarding the rights of same-sex couples, overturning the decision of the highest court in Arkansas. Now same-sex couples will be allowed to put both parents' names on a birth certificate, not just the biological parent. And the Supreme Court today also announced that when they return for the next term, they will hear the case of a baker who refused to make a cake for a same-sex marriage. And as all of these cases go forward, there is intense speculation about the justices who will make these important decisions. And if the most critical swing vote on the court, Justice Anthony Kennedy will choose to retire at age 81.
The real question, I think, is Justice Anthony Kennedy. So he'll be 81 in July.
He's the swing vote.
He's the swing vote across the board. Gay rights, abortion, all the sort of hot button issues. He really holds the deciding vote in.
According to a White House memo, this travel ban will now take effect 72 hours from today. The administration hoping to avoid some of those scenes of chaos from the first rollout. Reporting from outside the Supreme Court, Lana Zach, ABC News.
Here at home, a local teachers union crying foul after an anonymous survey used to rate their workplace was altered by the Sarasota County School District. ABC 7's Jacqueline Matter joins us now with more details. Jacqueline.
Good afternoon, Scott. For the first time in more than a decade, the survey comments section was removed at the order of the new Sarasota County Schools Superintendent, Todd Bowden. The 29-question survey aims to gain information about the school and work environment and also monitor school improvements. After the survey is conducted, reviewing results should lead to discussions on how to improve certain issues. However, the decision to eliminate the comments section was made without telling teachers, and it has many of them not even filling out the survey, saying their time would be wasted if they could not anonymously make comments about their workplace. But Superintendent Bowden and the school board is defending their decision, saying the comments section does not add any value.
This whole thing is that they didn't find it useful because it was anonymous is really ridiculous, and it's just not true. I mean, the fact of the matter is people wanted to make comments. Those comments are useful.
In response to the issue, the union conducted their own anonymous survey and included a comments section, which has been made public. Superintendent Bowden says he does not believe the comments section will be reinstated next year, and if teachers wish to communicate, they should do so with their supervisors. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Jacqueline, thank you. A woman is in the hospital after getting hit by a car while riding a bicycle. It happened around 9:30 this morning near the Popeyes restaurant on US 301 in Sarasota. Police say the 75-year-old woman was trying to cross the road when she was hit by the car. The driver of that car says he was trying to stop but could not avoid the collision. The woman ended up on his hood.
I mean, I seen it plain as day, like I can't get it out of my mind. I mean, like I said, he slowed down and she was just coming on the bike, and by the time he seen her, and just boom, he hit her, and she rode up on top of the hood and came back down. I mean, it's real sad if somebody gets hit on a bike, so at least she's okay.
Woman was taken to the hospital, but with only minor injuries. An investigation is underway after a body was recovered off of Holmes Beach. Holmes Beach police say the victim is a 30-year-old man visiting from Orlando, and it appears he drowned. His identity has not been released yet. Police are trying to get in touch with the victim's family. Well, we have our first hurricane of the 2017 season, but not anywhere close to us. Hurricane Dora forming in the eastern Pacific. Right now, it's a Category 1 hurricane, a couple of hundred miles off the Mexican coast. At the moment, it's not any threat to land. But again, that's the Pacific region. We worry about the Atlantic region, and not much going on right now, which we're glad, right?
Pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet. Pacific season usually starts a little earlier, ends a little sooner, and sometimes those systems can hook back and affect parts of Mexico or California. But like you said, that's really not the case with this one. So it's good news. Good news for those folks who have interests out there. We have some pretty quiet weather over the weekend, really. Not a whole lot of activity. And we started off the morning with a little cloud cover and even a few showers and some blue sky now. But notice some of these clouds actually have some vertical loft to them. Did you see those kind of popping up there on the horizon? That's something we really didn't see when we left you on Friday. Very stable environment led to very quiet conditions over the weekend. Well, now things are changing just a little bit. In fact, we have some showers in progress, even had some thunderstorms in the vicinity. Pinellas County really getting kind of hammered by some thunderstorm and shower activity there. We have a much better likelihood of seeing thunderstorms and showers this week. In fact, we have a pretty good chance as we head into the second half of the week. We'll talk about that and talk about the opportunity of everybody seeing a little bit of rainfall before the week's up, coming up in just a few. Back to you, Scott.
All right, thank you so much, John. Japanese airbag maker Takata is filing for bankruptcy. Takata has been struggling since its defective airbags led to recalls of tens of millions of vehicles. Those airbags have been linked to the deaths of at least 16 people, 11 in the United States. The company is seeking bankruptcy protection in both the U.S. and Japan. Most of its operations have been bought by Key Safety Systems, which is a Chinese-owned company based in Michigan. ABC 7 business commentator Richard Stern joins us now with a look at the day on Wall Street so far and a mixed start to the new week on Wall Street. Richard?
Scott, you're exactly right. The opening bell rang and the Dow Jones Industrial Average was up by 100 points in a matter of just a few minutes. But in a matter of a few hours, that 100-point gain became a 13-point loss. That's the low of the day, but come just about now, guess what? We're up. We're up by a reasonable amount for a start of the week. But it is mixed. The NASDAQ, which has been very, very strong, today is lower. Let's take a look at the numbers. There you see the Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 33.5 points, 0.16% at 21,428.25. That on volume of 308 million shares. The NASDAQ, as I say, is the down arrow of the day, down 22 points, more than 1/3 of 1% at 6,244.13. That on volume of 789 million shares. The S&P has an up arrow, not by very much, up by 1.5 points, 0.06% at 2,440.03. Well, today is June 26th, not only my daughter's birthday, but the 25th anniversary of an IPO of a small coffee chain based in Seattle, Washington. You might have heard of them. The name is Starbucks. They did, in fact, go public 25 years ago today. And guess what? At the time, they had 150 stores in 5 states. They now have 26,000 stores in 75 countries. They have 300,000 employees, and their food revenue, which used to be zero, now represents 20% of their total revenue. So that's been a big step for the company. And Scott, just in case you're interested, had you invested $10,000 in the IPO 25 years ago, that would now be worth $1.82 million. Not too bad.
Wow, good return there.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday to Jessica, and we'll
you.
See you again at 5.
I'll be here. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, sir. Well, you never know what you're going to find while cleaning out the pool on a Suncoast. While bending down to clean out the pool drain, a Port Charlotte man found an osprey peeking back at him. Looks like a juvenile osprey. Turns out it was stuck and the wing was injured on the bird. Charlotte County Sheriff's deputies were called to help free him. Deputies posted these photos on its Facebook page with the caption, "Who says animal rescues are just for firefighters?" And that bird is now getting some care, so it can be rehabbed, we hope. Time now to head over to the kitchen for the first time and check in with ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher. Happy Monday, Judy.
Happy Monday to you too, Scott. Sweet potatoes are for so much more nowadays, including a potato salad. Grilling sweet potatoes is a great idea. They're healthy, gives you lots of different options. So we're going to make sweet potato planks today. You can grill them outside on the grill or inside. We'll do it inside for those of you that don't have the access to outdoors to be able to grill. Super easy. Get out a griddle pan. We're going to poach off, steam those planks of sweet potatoes. I'll get that started right now. 2 to 3 sweet potatoes cut into about 8 and planks. We'll steam that for 10 minutes, and when I come back, let's make a fresh cherry nectarine salsa and give you some more tips along the way.
The ABC7 Stock Report is brought to you by Sunset Cadillac.
Everything all right?
Actually, you know how Tom had knee surgery?
Sure.
We found out Brad's been taking his painkillers. And it turns out he's been doing it for a while.
Most people don't know what to say about drugs, but we do. Visit us at drugfree.org.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Get ready for the most hair-raising event of the summer. Feld Entertainment and the Ringling Museum present international circus superstar Bello Knott in Incredibello, a gravity-defying, laughter-inducing, super stunt performance live at the historic Oslo Theater. Don't miss out on the must-see event of the summer, Incredibello, playing June 13th through July 29th. For tickets, visit ringling.org today.
This Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix Minute is brought to you by Sarasota Ford.
This year's Sarasota Powerboat Grand Prix will feature 2 full days of racing off Lido Beach on July 1st and 2nd. Meet race teams up close during the Boats on Main downtown block party on Friday, June 30th. Don't miss the Grand Prix Fan Fest on July 1st and 2nd, where you can see race boats launch and watch the races live from under a large tent. There will be music, food, fan zones, and vendors. VIP race day viewing tickets are available at SarasotaPowerboatGrandPrix.org.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC7. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
We get some amazing shots in here. Check out this thunderstorm. Beautiful shot by Barbara Knowles. We thank you for sending that in. Just a couple of beautiful shots. Have them on my Facebook page, John Scalzi ABC7. But I wanted to show you this one in particular. It just shows a great downdraft coming out of this thunderstorm cell. Doesn't that look amazing? I mean, it looks like an atomic explosion, doesn't it? It's just so beautiful. Really gives you an idea, a sense of the power of these storms and just how much energy they're contained within them. Neat shot. Thanks, Barbara. 86 degrees, our current air temperature. We've got some sunshine mixed with some fair weather clouds out there. 74-degree dew point. So our dew point's a little bit higher than when I left you on Friday. And in fact, the atmosphere is a little more unstable. So we're already seeing some showers in progress right now. West-southwest wind coming in at about 8, and across the region, some places have already hit the 90-degree mark. Arcadia, Myakka, Bradenton. Parrish coming in at 89, so is Wauchula, Northport. Sarasota's at 86, 84 degrees, Longboat 87 in Venice, 85 in Inglewood. And I think these temperatures right along the immediate coast will probably be just a little bit cooler as we establish this more westerly wind. Now, one thing that will do will be to take some of the showers that are building across the region and tend to send them a little bit further inland. But because the atmosphere is more unstable, because we have more moisture to deal with aloft, we do have the potential of seeing some coastal showers today. These showers will move into inland areas and become, I think, more widespread as we head into the afternoon. Much higher rainfall chances in inland areas. But perhaps some of the outflow from some of those storms may work their way back to the coastline later in the day. Right now, the heaviest of the rain falling down to our south, Warm Mineral Springs through Osprey into areas of Northport, all of those gradually moving to the east. The reason we're seeing more activity today than we saw Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday is this trough of low pressure that's carved its way through parts of the deep south and a generally more humid convergence of moisture kind of right along that line. So that's helping to trigger off a little more showery activity. Now that feature that you just saw kind of traced out on radar there tends to be more aloft, but the surface reflection of that is this frontal boundary, which is stalled out right across North Florida, sinking a little further south. It may actually kind of snake its way into north central Florida, maybe just a little bit north of us before it puts on the brakes and just parks there for several days in a row. And that will be a location, a favored location for shower and thunderstorm development over time. So today, our rainfall chances go up, focused mostly in inland areas. And by the time we get to midweek, those rain chances will be all over the place. And we will have not only coastal rain chances, but inland rain chances as well. Today, most of the rain, the heavier of the rain will be falling along the spine of the state and toward the other coast because of a fairly strong southwesterly wind flow developing. But with time, by midweek, some of this heavier rainfall that you see on the other coast will be shifting a little bit closer to our coast. So everybody will get the benefit of our higher rain chances that we're going to be experiencing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Forecast looks like this. We'll have about a 40% chance of showers today, a little bit higher in inland areas, and then as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and the weekend, a 50 to 60% chance of showers, and the direction of those storm motions should be a little bit closer to the coast. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Happening today, the fraud trial begins for a man once called the most hated in America. Former pharmaceutical executive Martin Shkreli faces charges of securities fraud, wire fraud, and conspiracy for cheating investors out of more than $11 million. Prosecutors are calling it a Ponzi scheme. While he was CEO, the 34-year-old gained notoriety for hiking up the price of a life-saving drug from a little more than $13 a pill to $750 a pill. But that controversy has nothing to do with this trial. If he's convicted, he faces up to 20 years in prison. New developments this afternoon on the healthcare showdown on Capitol Hill. Those in favor and opposed to the bill spent the weekend making their case to still undecided senators. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest.
The clock is ticking on health care, and despite it looking like an uphill battle in the Senate, President Trump is cautiously optimistic on Fox News.
I think we're going to get there.
And blames Democrats for blocking the process, even tweeting that it's not easy, and perhaps he should just let Obamacare crash and burn. With Democrats united against the new bill.
We are doing everything we can to fight this bill because it's so devastating for the middle class.
Republicans can only lose 2 votes from their party, and 5 already said they're not on board, with 5 others saying they have serious concerns. Conservative Republicans say the bill doesn't go far enough to repeal Obamacare.
The Obamacare subsidies in this bill are actually greater under the Republican bill than they are under the current Obamacare law.
But moderate Republicans say the bill goes too far and rolls back too much.
I'm also very concerned about the Medicaid cuts and what it means to our most vulnerable citizens.
During the campaign, candidate Trump vowed not to touch Medicaid.
Save Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security without cuts.
The Senate bill is projected to slash spending on Medicaid by $800 billion. But the White House insists this bill still keeps the president's promise.
We don't see them as cuts. It's slowing the rate of growth in the future and getting Medicaid back to where it was.
We expect to get a score from the Congressional Budget Office as early as today, and that will tell us how much this bill will cost taxpayers and how many Americans could lose their coverage under the new plan. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
In health news, summer rains bring mosquitoes, and with them those pesky itching bites. But dermatologists say don't scratch them. Scratching releases histamine, which can cause it to itch. Also, if you keep scratching, you run the risk of scratching off the outer layer of the skin and then exposing yourself to infections. People will try putting all sorts of things on bug bites to keep them from scratching, like alcohol, witch hazel, even toothpaste. But doctors say all these things can just dry out your skin.
A good alternative is to grab a piece of ice and put right on that itchy bite. Ice kills itch. And if you're at the pool, you probably have a cooler with ice in it or a cold drink you can put right on there, and that'll really kill that itch.
Instead of scratching, doctors recommend putting hydrocortisone on the bite. It helps with the itching and will help it heal even faster. Well, he's the premier comic daredevil in the world, and he lives right here on the Suncoast and is performing this summer for us. John is with our special guest, Bello Nock.
You talk about a guy who needs no introduction. This has got to be him right here, Bello Nock. You know, we talk about you being a daredevil extraordinaire circus performer, but you're a tough guy to pigeonhole, you know, because you say you're a circus performer, but you've gotten a Drama Desk Award for your shows.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, we say you're a daredevil, and yet you're performing on the historic Oslo stage, and you've been on TV. So, what are you, DeBella?
Oh, man.
How would you categorize
How would I
yourself?
get? I'm an entertainer.
Okay.
I'm an entertainer. I wouldn't want to, you know, even like bands that go, oh, don't call us rock and roll. We're pop. They don't want to be pigeonholed. I'm a comic daredevil. I'm a daredevil. I'm a clown. I'm whatever you want it to be.
Take theater and bring it into your shows as well.
Got to jam out with Cheap Trick and Bruce Springsteen on
electric
stage.
Guitar. You play electric guitar. You're incredible.
I play 12 different musical instruments, selfishly fluent. I can play my favorites, not yours. I'm not good at any of them, but I can do it.
Well, you're incredible. And speaking of
Thanks.
incredible,
Oh.
the show's name is what? Incredibella, right? At the
Thanks.
Oslo Theater,
Yeah,
right?
it's
now,
really,
and that
really
goes on
it's
through
great.
the 23rd?
Yes, yeah, July, yeah.
And it's a very unique show. Now, this is interesting because I think in this show you sort of draw attention to your family history.
I do. You know, very unique. 7 generations is me, my daughter right there, Annalise, who's a Guinness Book of World Record holder. 8 generations, and now my granddaughter somewhat makes a surprise appearance. But we talk about, you know, all the different legacy in our family, because you had asked me about, like, still now, Circus Knock is still in existence.
I took a look at it on
Did
the
you?
on the website.
Oh,
Yeah,
cool.
they're in Switzerland,
In
right?
Switzerland, yeah.
It's kind of like the Von Trapp family with the fire and high wire. Right?
Yeah, you got it. So 7 generations of my family, but from both sides of my family. Both the Italian side, the Canestrelli, and the Knock family. And it's not, Knock, you asked me.
Yes.
How
a lot of Knocks out there?
A lot of Knocks out. Too many. No. But there were a lot of female Knocks, and so there's a lot of the family grew out into the Bowers, the Gassers, so many different. So there's, oh boy, some of the biggest circuses in Canada, United States, Australia, France, Switzerland, Germany, and a lot of parts of the world are extensions of my family. They just happen to be my cousins or aunts and uncles.
But this tradition goes through the entire bloodlines.
It sure
Now,
does.
how
It
would
sure
you
does.
say your act or what you do differs from what 7 generations ago the Knock family was doing?
Well, you know, circus is changing, ever changing and never changing, right? So there's the fundamentals that people expect to see. Walking the high wire. Something that my father and my Aunt Elizabeth came up with was this thing called a sway pole act. And they would climb up a tree that, you know, back then it was probably 60, 70 feet tall. And that's what I did on America's Got Talent. I have a very short one that you can see at the Incredibello show. But it's a sway pole, and they would climb up to the top of this thing. It's like a dried noodle or a straw, and they'd stand up there and sway back and forth. And hopefully it didn't break. Which it did back in the day. I don't
Right.
let that happen anymore. New technology, but so there's that. But I think what I do, what makes me very different, is some people are afraid of clowns. Some people don't. Like you said, what are you? I am a daredevil, and I probably take more chances than most daredevils. Or no, I laugh doing what daredevils do, but I probably take more risks than comedians. So that's what the comic daredevil is. The number one thing when you walk in a wire is look at the other side and do not take your eyes off the other side. That's the first thing that they teach you when you walk a wire. Well, I walk the wire looking at the audience, making eye contact, and try to telling a story. So
this is you with that pole that you were talking about, right? On America's Got Talent.
Yeah,
You
so
were
that's
just
like
on.
37, 40 feet in the air, and you know, trying to have a good time and act while you're being a daredevil.
And you're not strapped onto that thing.
No,
and there's no net underneath.
No, I
it.
work without a net or any other Mouseketeer. Ooh, just gave away my thanks.
Thank you very much.
Look,
We got a laugh from Scott over there. Wow, that is amazing. Now, will people be seeing a version of that at the
Yeah.
Oh,
and
gosh.
what a beautiful place. What a gem of a theater. Almost 400-year-old theater that was brought over by John Ringling. I'd have to say this, if it wasn't for the Ringling brothers and the Feld family, I wouldn't be standing here. My father, mother, came to America. My Aunt Elizabeth and Joe came to America in 1954 working for Ringling Brothers. They all met, they all met here, met their dates and all. So many years later, I was the guy who headlined Ringling Brothers. And now to be in my own hometown where all this family has called Sarasota home for now 5 generations have called Sarasota home. To be able to perform at the Ringling Museum.
Feels pretty good.
Oh man, it's just
And the
awesome.
tradition continues because it
really
is the
does.
first time that you get to perform in a show
with
your
my
daughter.
family. Yes,
How
yes,
fantastic
yeah.
is
It's
that?
really awesome.
Yeah, it's
and
really
so
great.
please
Well,
come
Bella,
see it.
I just can't tell you how much fun it is to have you
thank
here.
you,
Always
thank
is
you.
and a nicer guy you cannot ever meet. This guy
hasn't
right
met a
here,
lot of people.
he is just aces. Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thanks so much for coming in. I know the show is selling out fast, so by all means, get your ticket now.
Yeah, and it's appropriate for 4 generations can laugh
Of
at
course
the
it
same
is.
joke.
You're appropriate for all
Yeah,
generations.
thank you.
We'll be right back.
The Alfa Romeo Quadrifoglio charmed us all and crippled the competition. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Alfa Romeo got a lot right with the Giulia, but the handling alone is sufficient reason to get one. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Florida kicking off the best-of-3 College World Series final in Omaha, Nebraska tonight. The Gators advancing after beating TCU Saturday night 3-0. They're the 4th team in World Series history to shut out an opponent twice with a pair of 3-0 wins. LSU eliminating the overall top seed Oregon State to get to the finals. This is a best-of-3 all-SEC series, and Game 1 is tonight at 7 o'clock. Let's get back to the kitchen now. Check in on lunch with Chef Judy Gallagher, who's making a grilled sweet potato salad, and it looks delicious. Judy?
And I got so enthralled talking to Bello. We're always making plans. He still owes me lunch with Bruce Springsteen since he jammed with him, just saying. So I steamed out the potato planks. About 8 to 10 minutes are fine. Spray your griddle pan or your grill with some food spray like Pam, and then just a little drizzle of oil. And we're going to start to get these just to get a grill mark on them. They're tender, but they're not too cooked. And do I feel the sense of an acrobatic clown coming around? See?
Wow.
Yep, you get Bruce Springsteen on the show with me, and I will make whatever you want, Bello. I love you, buddy. So while these start in the griddle pan, I'm going to add some pork chops. You know, boneless pork chops grilled are just perfect for the summer, and this is going to make a really great dish because we're using nectarines and we're using cherries, so it's going to be wonderful. So funny little story as this is grilling. I first read the recipe for cherry relish in Cooking Light, and so when I started to make it for the first time to test it, I realized I don't have a cherry pitter, so it took me quite a long time and quite a bit of a mess to cut the cherries. So what I did was I incorporated it in with nectarines, and in the next segment we're going to do that and make this great fruit and corn relish. Right now I'm using some barbecue seasoning, and I'm just a pinch on the potato planks because we're going to use a little cumin in a little bit as they start to grill. Now, just to add a little flavor, I'll stick some onions on the griddle pan as well, and use the red onions because I just think they look really pretty as they're going along. Now, this is going to take, like I said, probably about 10 minutes. Let's get some black pepper on there. We have some great seasoning. In a little while, I'll bring out the cumin and we'll let this griddle. Now, in the meantime, you want to make sure you get out your fresh lime juice if you're using the Key West lime juice, or start to juice the juice of about 4 limes that we're going to use almost as like a dressing. So I'm going to start to turn the potatoes as they gently kind of get the griddle mark. I'm starting to see it come by. Finish up. There we go. That's a really good look right there. Finish up, and then we're going to make this cherry nectarine relish when I come back. So stay with me. Even Bello is going to enjoy lunch today.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $189 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-685-6422, 800-685-6422.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast,
This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Topping our news this half hour, the mother of a man whose shooting death was streamed online on Facebook is receiving millions of dollars in a settlement. The mother of Philando Castile reaching a nearly $3 million settlement from the city of St. Anthony, Minnesota. That settlement avoids the drawn-out process of a federal wrongful death lawsuit stemming from the 32-year-old's death last year. Castile was shot and killed during a traffic stop by Officer Geronimo Yanez. The officer was charged in the killing but acquitted of second-degree manslaughter earlier this month. Castile's death gained national attention after his girlfriend live-streamed its aftermath on Facebook. Here at home, for the second time in less than a week, a drive-by shooting broke out in broad daylight in the Newtown area. And Sarasota police are asking the public for help to find those involved. ABC 7's Ray Collins joins us now with the latest developments. Ray?
Scott, the shootings were a block apart, but police aren't sure if they're related. The more recent one happened yesterday afternoon at 31st Street and Goodrich Avenue. Police say a passenger in a silver SUV shot at a silver sedan. No injuries in this one or the previous one last week a block away at 32nd Street near 301. The police chief says it would be tragic if an innocent victim got caught in the crossfire.
Because while they may be shooting at each other, the bullets don't have names on them and they could potentially hit innocent victims. So we're looking for citizens to come forward and give us any information. They may see bullet holes in their neighbor's car or their own car. We need people to come forward and share with us some information.
If you can help, call Crime Stoppers. Easy number to remember, 366-TIPS. Scott, back to you.
All right, Ray, thank you so much. New details this afternoon on a deadly residential tower fire in London. The British government says 60 high-rise apartments failed fire safety tests. This update comes as samples of exterior panels fitted to high-rise apartments are being tested to see if they are similar to those at the tower that burned so quickly. That fire killed at least 79 people 2 weeks ago. Combustible cladding was blamed for the rapid spread of that fire. About 1,000 firefighters are battling the largest active wildfire in the country in Utah right now. The blaze has destroyed more than a dozen homes. Other wildfires are also being fought in Arizona, California, New Mexico, Nevada, and Oregon. Officials are blaming the dangerous mixture of triple-digit heat, bone-dry terrain, and high winds for this growing infernos. That's a bad recipe when you put them all together for wildfires, that's for sure.
Triple-digit heat is just it's tough. It's kind of interesting, though, because they're not an extreme drought any longer.
Right.
You know, they had all their rainfall, and, you know, California and the desert Southwest busted their drought, and now they're getting the fires. You know, it just goes to show what a couple of days of really incredible hot temperatures can do. We have across our region anything but drought conditions. We're going to get more rainfall this week than we saw at the end of last week. And I think it's going to be pretty wet, particularly the second half of the week. Casey Key webcam put into motion shows we started the day off with a little bit of blue sky and a lot of cloud cover as well. That cloud cover kind of has some loft to some of those clouds. If you can kind of see them growing, we didn't really have that kind of vertical development in our clouds as we left you on Friday, and certainly didn't see a whole lot of that over the weekend. Most of the heavier rain shower activity will probably be in inland areas. We're seeing a blossoming now of showers around Venice and Northport and into areas around Myakka. Those showers will continue on a drift that'll take them further and further inland. Our rain chance today much better than over the weekend. I'll put it at about 40% or so, even higher than that in inland areas. Complete forecast details for a wet week ahead coming up in just a few. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. Passengers got quite a scare on a flight from Australia to Malaysia on Sunday. The jet had an apparent engine issue and started shaking violently. That's when the pilot asked passengers to pray as he took the plane back down. ABC's Ron Claiborne has the story.
It was a terrifying mid-air scare for the hundreds of passengers aboard that flight. The entire cabin of this Airbus violently shaking. One witness describing the plane as shuddering like a washing machine.
The plane started shaking quite violently, and we started losing altitude.
The Air Asia flight carrying 350 passengers departed Perth, Australia. It was en route to the Malaysian capital of Kuala Lumpur, a nearly 6-hour flight. But 90 minutes into the trip, the pilot was forced to turn around. The captain of the plane issuing this dire warning.
Also, please listen to the briefing.
Our survival depends on your cooperating. Hopefully everything will turn out for the best.
Lots of people crying, lots of people pulling out their life jackets and stuff, like pretty much preparing. Like we thought there was a good chance that we were going to go down.
But somehow these two passengers managed to make light of the ordeal.
As a passenger, it's probably not the best thing to hear. He said that he advised us to pray for the plane and to pray for everyone, and he said that he was scared too, and I guess that's probably not something you want to hear as a passenger.
The pilot was finally able to land the plane safely in Perth.
Ron Claiborne reporting there. All right, back to the kitchen now. Lunch is coming along good, I know, with Judy Gallagher. It smells good, that's for sure.
Scott, I think you'll like it. I mean, what's not to like when you have barbecue pork chops grilling out with great seasoning? The potato planks, the sweet potato planks are really coming along. As they start to get their grill marks, then I put them over in a platter. Let's get to the salsa. So here are the infamous cherries that I did not have a cherry pitter to use, but they are delicious. So as much as I like this recipe, I just needed to cut down the work, so I added nectarines, so it's not all cherries. Now, for any reason you don't like cherries or don't feel like pitting them, besides the nectarines, what you can use skin on in the nectarines, by the way, you can also use a bag of frozen pomegranate seeds. You can get those over at the Fresh Market, and sometimes I see them in other fine grocery stores, and that just makes for some good flavor and good color balance. I have some yellow bicolor, actually, corn, cut off the cob, not cooked, just in its lovely crunchy state. Now we're going to add some chopped scallions, and I really love scallions, so go a little bit heavy on that. About half a jalapeno. I'm not too big on a lot of spice, but I'll keep a few on the side in case Scott and John want it a little bit spicier. Now I added about 2 tablespoons of lime juice, and I'm just going to let this sit. This in by itself, this relish, kind of makes its own really beautiful salad, but we're just going to bump it up several layers by doing it with the pork. Cherries and pork work so well together. And then the sweet potatoes, it's going to be really nice. The key with recipes like this is how you serve it. You really want to use a nice decorative platter. It really makes that wow. And this way, when you're cooking for friends, it's something that you can do a lot of it ahead of time. So you can make the relish ahead of time. You can prep the sweet potatoes by steaming them, and then they just go out in the grill. Now, the last thing I'm going to do before I pull the pork chops, the boneless pork chops, and slice them up is add a big helping of cilantro. Oh, I love cilantro, and this makes it really cool and fresh. When I come back, it's time for lunch, and we'll see if the guys like it as much as I like this recipe.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. AndServices.com. AndServices.com.
Hi, I'm Chef Judy. Every Wednesday morning, I'll be with the chefs at the Publix Aprons Cooking School, serving up the most wonderful dishes. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday on ABC7's Good Morning Suncoast.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
And for a limited time, Minnesota Flooring is offering you unbelievable pricing on tile and laminate. Porcelain tile only $1.59. Ceramic tile 99 cents. And 16 by 16 tile $1.19. Laminate flooring is only 99 cents. But these prices won't last. Don't miss out on these great deals. Hurry into Minnesota Flooring today.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
For your plumbing, electrical, electrical or air conditioning. And services is qualified. And service calls are free. And services.com. AND services.com.
Charlie Yeagley at the controls of Tower Cam, looking out over thunderstorm activity in the distance. We have moving toward Myakka right now, some pretty good thunderstorm activity, and I think as we progress through the afternoon, more and more of that will be occurring east of the interstate. Taking a look at current air temperatures, we have 86 degrees, dew point value coming in at 74. It's very sticky and humid outside right now. I don't think we'll warm a whole lot more than the 86-degree temperature. Fair amount of sunshine mixed with fair weather clouds, particularly a little sunnier along the coastline. Inland, we're already starting to see, as I mentioned, some of those thunderstorms beginning to develop. 90s are going to be widespread in inland areas, but not much higher than that because the cloud cover will start to keep those temperatures stabilized and even start to lower them as we head into the next couple of hours. Along the coastline, an onshore wind flow will probably keep our temperatures pretty close to the upper 80s. I don't think we'll get much warmer than that. You can see the showers really starting to blossom now east of the interstate as the sea breeze begins to develop and we start to work on this a little less stable atmosphere. There's some pretty good thunderstorms that we're seeing out here. A couple of thunderstorms anyway. We've had a pop or two of lightning. They are not what's the word? They're filled with lightning. These are not huge thunderstorms, but we've got some pretty good loft in them. Some of the thunderstorms now reaching an elevation of 25,000 feet at the core. So, it's pretty good. You're getting pretty good rainfall under some of those storms. They'll continue to move into inland areas. The atmosphere less stable today than it was last week because of this trough of low pressure kind of carved out by the radar signatures aloft. Now, at the surface, we have a stalled frontal boundary that'll be lingering for days. It looks like it's not really going to go anywhere. It may sink a little bit further to the south and then kind of put on the brakes, basically over Tampa. But it is really not going to tear right through the state of Florida, leaving us with this big dome of high pressure. It's going to stay, and it's going to help to destabilize our atmosphere right straight into the weekend. And I know there's going to be lots of celebrations and a lot of outdoor gatherings, of course, this holiday weekend. Big offshore is coming our way. And just remember everyone lightning safety tips because, Florida just came in ranked as the #1 spot in the nation again in terms of lightning fatalities at 52 so far. So we want to be safe this weekend. If you can hear the thunder, it means you're close enough to the parent storm to be struck by lightning and need to be indoors, off telephones, out of the shower, don't have your hands in the dishwashing water because all of that has in the past led to incidences of electrocution by even nearby lightning strikes traveling through ground and connected by plumbing and wires to the house itself. We have this frontal boundary that'll be, as I said, be meandering across the region for at least 3 or 4 days, possibly right straight into the weekend, helping to destabilize the atmosphere. Strong onshore flow with the sea breeze more active also brings our rain chances to about 50 or 60% by midweek and focuses some of the shower activity that's inland today a little bit closer to the coast. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. New this afternoon, a parenting alert about Snapchat. Just about every kid uses it, and if yours is one of them, you need to know about the new feature called Snap Maps. ABC's Jesse Palmer has more on the red flags it's raising.
Thanks to a new Snapchat feature called Snap Map, not only can you see exactly what your friends are doing, you can also track them down to join the fun. But this morning, many parents of younger Snapchat users are worried that the sharing has gone too far, putting their kids' privacy at risk.
This is particularly concerning to parents because, well, Snapchat is one of the most popular social networks.
So how does it work? If you update your Snapchat app on your phone, you'll be prompted to either opt in to sharing your location on Snap Map or stay in ghost mode, the default setting, so you can see where others are, but they can't see you. According to Snapchat, it's impossible to share your locations with someone who isn't your friend. You can even select which friends see you and which ones don't, and the map only updates your location when you're actually using the app. Still, some parents fear this type of visibility makes their kids vulnerable.
So you as a parent want to know who your children's friends are in Snapchat because they can at any time toggle the settings to share the location or not with those people in Snapchat.
It may be alarming for parents, but location sharing isn't new. Apps like Facebook Messenger and Apple's Find My Friends allow you to share your specific location with others. And since this type of technology isn't going away anytime soon, experts suggest talking to your kids about who they add on Snapchat, being selective about what the word friend means, and above all, when your kids update their apps, make sure you're up to date on what that means for them.
That was Jesse Palmer reporting. Coming up, a book-turned-movie franchise celebrating 20 years, and the words and wisdom of Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Billy Joel, and those words he offered to high school graduates. Entertainment news is next.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee counties since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
Drive into Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota and discover big savings during the Drive and Discover event. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Drive off in a new Jeep Cherokee for as little as $18,999. Get a new Dodge Journey for just $15,999. Or purchase a brand new Jeep Renegade for as low as $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 1-800-468-1930. Go online or visit a Target store today.
For the last decade, SNS Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
So good. I don't know how else to say. So good. This is delicious.
I take that, considering you're the grill master. I take that. But so easy, right? Boneless, thick boneless pork chops, don't overcook them. Don't cook them past medium rare, even better. Let them rest for 10 minutes. But I really love this sweet potato salad with the cherries and the nectarines and a little hit of jalapeno, fresh lime juice. That in itself could be a vegetarian meal for me, but I got to put in a little carnivore love for you and Scott.
And the smell of the herbs, and it's just so good.
Very light. It'll be really fun to bring for July 4th.
MySuncoast.com, go to the recipe link, click on the dining button, and it'll take you right to it with the video instructions. This is superb.
Scott,
Thanks,
we'll
Judy.
save you some.
Maybe. We better hurry.
Not holding my breath. All right. Thank you both. Billy Joel visiting his old high school on Long Island over the weekend. The Piano Man was the keynote speaker at their weekend commencement. He reminded students of their purpose in life.
This is what the right thing is. And I hope that you hold on to that. I hope you remember that. Who you are today is going to be very important who you are later in life.
The six-time Grammy winner did not graduate with his class of 1967. He was one credit shy, but he finally got his diploma back in 1992. 20 years ago today, our lives were changed by the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Author J.K. Rowling debuting the first novel of the franchise, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, on June 26, 1997. Since then, well, it's sold a few, 450 million copies worldwide, and inspired a film series as well. Rowling tweeting about the anniversary today saying, quote, 20 years ago today, a world that I had lived in alone was suddenly open to others. And we're all glad for that. A Neapolitan Mastiff named Martha is this year's world's ugliest dog. According to her handler, Martha is a drooling, snoring, gassy, loud, and silly girl. Besides the honor of the title, Martha gets $1,500, a trophy, and a trip to New York. Well, how about that? All right. Thanks so much for joining us. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you again at 5 o'clock.